When we think of Christmas, we all picture those beautiful, serene nativity scenes, right? There's a soft glow, peaceful carols. But what if the real story was, well, a lot messier? Today, we're going to journey back and uncover a version of that first Christmas that was far more difficult, uncertain, and deeply human than we usually imagine. So let's dive in.
So what if it wasn't some silent, perfect night? What if it was actually a story of incredible struggle? Real quiet strength. That's the big question we're exploring here. We're going to try to strip away some of the legend to find the raw, powerful truth hiding underneath it all.
Yeah. So on one side, you have the myth we all know, the glowing, stable, everything's picture perfect. But the reality? Oh, that was a totally different story. It was defined by difficulty, by uncertainty, and by being completely, totally overlooked by just about everyone.
All right, so this whole story, it doesn't kick off with a beautiful star in the sky. Nope. It starts with something much more mundane, a government decree. See, at the time, the land of Israel was under Roman rule, and the emperor, Caesar Augustus, he demanded a census. And that one political decision is what set this whole incredible chain of events in motion.
And this wasn't like, hey, if you get a chance, could you? No, this was a command. Every single person had to go back to their ancestral town to be counted and, of course, taxed. So for a young carpenter named Joseph and his fiancée, Mary, who was very, very pregnant, this meant one thing. They had to pack up and head to Bethlehem.
And get this, the journey was about 90 miles. Just let that number sink in for a moment. 90 miles. We're not talking about a quick drive down the highway, obviously.
This was on foot, over these rough, uneven, dusty paths. And remember, Mary is nearing her due date. Can you just imagine the physical toll, the sheer exhaustion, the constant worry, especially for a woman about to give birth, maybe any day?
This quote just says it all. It wasn't some joyful pilgrimage. It was a grueling, tough journey they had to make. They had no choice but to just keep going, one exhausted step after another. So they finally make it. After that incredibly long and difficult trip, you'd think, okay, finally, they can rest. But no. Arriving in Bethlehem just brought a whole new set of problems. Because of the census, the town was absolutely packed, just overflowing with people.
They start looking for a place to stay, and it's just one closed door after another. Everywhere they go, it's the same story. Sorry, we're full. No space, no room, no welcome for this exhausted couple who desperately needed a place to rest.
Just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. You're bone-tired from the road, your wife is about to go into labor, and every single door is slammed in your face. It's that awful feeling of desperation, of being totally and completely unwelcome.
But with literally no other options left, they find shelter where the animals were kept. This was probably a cave, or maybe the ground floor of a house. And let's be clear, this wasn't some cozy, quaint little barn. It was rough, it was basic, and it definitely wasn't clean.
And it's there, in that simple, humble space, that Mary gave birth. No crowds, no big celebration, no fanfare at all. It was just a mother, a father, and their newborn baby. A quiet, private, and totally unglorified moment.
After the baby was born, they wrapped him up and laid him in a manger. And what's a manger? It's just a feeding trough for animals, a box that holds hay. That was his very first bed.
Just stop and think about that for a second. The child who would literally change the course of all human history. His life begins here, not in a palace surrounded by luxury, but in an animal's feeding trough. Talk about a powerful statement.
But that's not where the story ends, because on that very same night, out in the fields, away from the noise of the town, the first official announcement of this birth was about to happen. And the people who heard it first, well, they were just as surprising as the birthplace itself.
The message came to a group of shepherds. Now you have to understand, in that society, shepherds weren't exactly at the top of the social ladder. They were ordinary working guys, kind of on the margins, pretty much unnoticed by everyone else, just out there in the fields doing their job.
And then all of a sudden, the dark night is just shattered by this incredible light. An angel appears right in front of them, and you can imagine they were terrified. But the message was for them. "Don't be afraid," the angel says. "I bring you good news of great joy. A Savior has been born." Again, think about who got this news first. It wasn't kings or powerful leaders. It wasn't the religious elite in the temple. It was these humble, ordinary guys, the ones nobody paid any attention to. The story just keeps turning our ideas of power and importance completely upside down. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. You have to ask the question, why this way? Why all the difficulty, all the humility? And the answer really gets to the absolute core of what this whole event is about. When you look at all the pieces, a really clear pattern starts to emerge, doesn't it? That exhausting journey, getting turned away everywhere, the simple shelter with the animals, and then the shepherds being the first to know. Every single part of this story points to one powerful idea: humility.
And this quote really nails it. The most important moments in life are not always loud or visible. What this story shows us so powerfully is that things that change the world don't always show up with a big, loud bang. Sometimes, the most important things happen quietly, in the places we'd never think to look.
So, when you get right down to it, the real Christmas story isn't about everything being perfect. It's about hope showing up right in the middle of a messy, tough, and very human situation. It all happened miles away from the centers of power, in a little town most people forgot, to a family nobody knew.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. When you pull back all the tinsel and the myths we've built up, what you find at the core is this incredible story of humility. So the real question for us is, in a world that's always chasing power and recognition, what does this story of humility mean to you?